How you guys doing? Welcome to Tuna Tech. Today I want to talk to you about my impressions of, as you can see here, the Note 20 Ultra. Now I've got the AT&T version, but either way, I'm going to try to bypass a lot of the stuff that people have already talked about, including specs, and there's been a lot of talk about negative battery life, but I want to go over a few things. So first off, we've heard it a million times. Yes, this is the bronze. It does have a rose gold kind of feel or look. It's kind of textured. Doesn't show fingerprints that much. Yes, it's got a large camera hump. It's hard to get that to focus, but 3 cameras. Big update here, laser focus as opposed to the S20 Ultra. Huge screen. It's got the S Pen. Cool new features with that. Stereo speakers. You know, the basics, things we all know, come to love with the Note series. With a phone like this, as expensive it is, I always carry a case. I usually go for the cheap plastic cases, but this one from ESR I got from Amazon, and it's got this pretty nifty kickstand, which it comes in very handy with a big screen like that, to be able to watch content, which the screen is big enough to do so. It's got raised stuff to protect my camera, so this is what I usually use. I'm taking it off just for the video, and as you can see over here, I've got my Pixel 4a, which I've been using heavily. So first things first, the build quality in this thing, I will have to say, Samsung knocked it out of the park. 110% by far, at least in 2020, the best built phone I've ever handled. I mean, the screen goes edge to edge. The pinhole, punch hole, whatever you want to call it, camera is much smaller. While this unit here is very large, it's people say classic, nice, cool. I say it's contemporary, modern. It's just an overall good looking package. So that's my first good thing. First thing I'd like to say good about it. The second big thing here is the screen. This screen, I'm sorry, it's just beautiful. I mean, when you're watching content on this thing, it blows away almost everything that I'm used to. But Samsung's been for quite some time been known for this. Now I've probably used or have owned every Note device except for the Note 7. No pun intended. But besides that, you know, the screen is fantastic. It's got the 120 hertz. I know it's not on all time, it's adaptive, but for me, I played some games. It seems like, you know, from what I've seen, it seems pretty good. So the first 2 things I like the most, like I said, is the build and the screen. Third, it's kind of a hit or miss. I like the cameras. I generally like the cameras. They're good. You can get some pretty amazing shots, and with the big 108 megapixel camera, you get some nice bokeh effect. But I hate to say this, when I'm actually really in a pinch, I tend to grab the Pixel 4a. For one, it's compact, it's smaller, it's easier to, as you can see there, it's easier to handle in one hand, and it's a point and shoot, no thinking. But with this, we do have that zoom, and we also have the wide angle lens, which does come in handy. I've taken some pictures of my vehicle, and I posted some of my on my Twitter account there. But so the cameras are good. Some of the things that people have been talking about is battery life. Now for me, I don't have screenshots, I'm not going to post anything up, but it looks like to me, for the most part, I've been getting 4.5 to 6 my max screen on time. Obviously when I got 6 I wasn't doing a lot. 4.5 I was doing a little more. I know a lot of people complain about battery life, and I would consider myself generally an average user. I have a charger wherever I go. In my office I've got a wireless charger that doubles as my pen holder. I've got USB ports all over my house. I've got base stations, wireless chargers to stop, to drop everywhere. So, and at night, I turn it off. I turn off, well, and if I don't, it's on a charger. So for me, battery life isn't a killer, but I can understand going out and not being certain. That being said, this does have generally a better standby and better battery life, although it's smaller screen, lower resolution, no high refresh rate. So there's a lot of, power sipping chipset. So that's the one caveat. So people complain about the battery life. I don't think it's that bad. It could be better. Another thing people complain about is the rollover screen here. It's hard to show on the screen there, but I never had palm rejection issues, or not palm rejection, accidental touches. I don't know why people complain about it, but they do. The only real issue I've had with this phone was the 5G. I live in a rural area, and when I put my AT&T SIM card in this, my 5G is slower than my 4G. So, toss that up for what it is. But anyways, in addition to all that, I've been generally impressed with the phone. Pictures are good, sound quality, I mean, by far. If I'm going to take these two devices out, and I know I'm going to be watching this video, this one's coming with me. I would say, just recently I noticed I have Samsung Button Plus, and I have the Sony W whatever 1003 earbuds, not the headphones. I do have the headphones, but I've noticed that the Bluetooth on this seems to not be as a high range. I don't know if it's just a smaller size. When it's in my pocket, it can't reach my ear. But either way, the other thing is this: is I have the Samsung Active 2 with this, whereas I'm using a Wear OS watch with this. Obviously, there's some trade-offs with each one of those units, but overall, the other issue you got to talk about with this is the price. The price on this thing is $1,300. Now, people might say, oh, well, it's a premium device, and it is. Here is why I'm not complaining about that. If you look here, you've got $350 and $1,300. Both phones do the same exact thing. One's more premium build, one's got more features, one's got a good camera at its price. What we enjoy about Android, and I know Apple's got the iPhone SE, but that's just recent, and the 5C to me wasn't that popular. But between these two devices is that you have a range. So if you want to go out and get the most premium materials, 3 years with Samsung is just guaranteed of updates, which we know Google has too, but 3 years of updates. Great camera, great screen. I mean, the whole toolbox is right here. Then you can do that. If you want to make some sacrifices but have a good phone that's by far one of the best mid-range phones ever, you have that option. With Android, you have the option to have a cheap phone or an expensive phone. We have options, and you can pick and choose what you want. Samsung has their One UI, Google has Android, vanilla they call it. LG has their thing, Sony has their thing. So you can pick and choose what you're familiar with and what you like. But with Samsung, not only are they packing a lot of features in here you may or may not use, they're also giving you 3 years of updates. So with that being said, would I go out and buy it? If you have the money and you want everything in one package, this is the phone to buy, especially for Android. If you want to save a buck, you can buy a mid-range phone. It's not this. You have the OnePlus Nord, you've got LG Velvet, you've got Moto's got some ones out there. I don't have, necessarily hands-on experience with those, but either way. So again, quality, great. Accessories, support, it's going to be good for these phones. Everything about this phone is going to work good for the next 3 to 4 years, if not longer. So you make that trade-off too. You pay it outright, or you pay a 2-year or whatever. The phone's going to be updated for that long. So again, like this video, subscribe, thumbs up, share, and hit that bell notification for more videos. Thanks for watching.